What's going on, beautiful world? Welcome back to Invictus. Tonight, a special video. I'm building my favorite, not best, my favorite Middlesbrough 11 from my era. So my era was probably like 2004. That's when I said in the older video. So any sort of player from that era onwards is is the player pool I'm picking from. I don't really know, obviously, too much about, or going back way into the day about, those type of players. So I'm doing my favorite players, and maybe we'll come back and do like a best all-time players or something like that. Let me know in the comments who your favorite players are and your favorite 11. And make sure you come check me out on Twitch 6 nights a week, guys. I'm going to be live probably once I've uploaded this video as well. Love to have you over on Twitch. It's an amazing place to hang out and talk Boro. And also like, comment, and subscribe, guys, and tell a friend about the channel. Sit back, relax, and enjoy my favorite Middlesbrough 11. All right, here we have it. We're using the football formation creator to create my favorite Middlesbrough 11. Now, these are players from my era. I'm talking like 2004 onwards, and they're going to be a little bit biased. Okay, I'm sorry, but this is my 11. Okay, you got to let me be. But I'd love to let me know down below what you guys think and who your favorite players are as well. I've got to start with the GOAT, the man who got me into the Middlesbrough land. He brought me into football. He brought me into my love for the sport, my love for this team, and just an absolute legend in my eyes. And that is the one, the only Mark Schwarzer. I hope I spelled that correctly. I think I did. Mark Schwarzer, the absolute GOAT. Probably, in my eyes, the best goalkeeper we've ever had, I reckon. If you think, I think probably in my era, again, Darren Randolph was probably up there. I thought he was a very good goalkeeper. I actually rate Stefan as well, even though he's made a few mistakes in that as well. But Mark Schwarzer is the absolute GOAT for me. And you get the #1 jersey. Now, where do we go? I'm going to have to go up here. And I'm going to say he was probably more of a #10, I reckon. He was probably more of a #10. And I absolutely loved this guy. His passion and his heart on his sleeve nature was just the ultimate. And I just loved waking up in the morning, 4 a.m., and watching this guy run around and play football. It was just one thing like that it just made me believe and love this club even more. And that is Tankai Sunli. Maybe not everyone's favorite, but that he just put everything out on that pitch every time he stepped onto it, and I absolutely adored Tankai Sunli. And I have like 2 jerseys. I've never had like more than 1 jersey with that person's name on the back, and I had 2 Tankai Sunlis because it's just my favorite player. I'm gonna go 19 here as well because I think we all know who's coming in here. Stewie Downing. Even though I put him on the right here, we'll switch him over here, but he was number 19, so I'm gonna put him over here. Put Stewie Downing over here. We'll leave #6 for now. But Stewie Downing, one of the best left wingers to go through our club. I think you can all admit when he was on his day, he was on his day. He was absolutely incredible, Stewie Downing, and an absolute legend of our club. And yeah, I can't name a better left winger than we had in Stewie Downing, that's for sure. All right, where do we go next? Ooh, we go down here. Now, this is tough. This is tough in the centre back roles. This is going to be tough in the centre back roles because there's a fair few. Now, it's my favorite 11, so I'm going to have to say the one, the only, Davey Weeder. David Weeder was at the club when I saw the Blackpool game, and I bought his jersey live at the stadium as well. He was my favorite player. I used to call myself Wheats on a lot of the games that I would play and stuff like that because he was just, I don't know, he just resembled the passion, the heart on sleeve mentality. And anyone that sort of did that, as you can tell through Tankai and Davey Weeder and that, anyone that just bled for this team and just left it all out on the pitch is just okay in my books. And Davey Weeder was definitely that person, I think, for me. He was just that solid centre back that just was always there, always reliable. And yeah, I loved him, especially when he got that first debut as such a young kid as well. And I know Davey's still out there playing, and I love him. I love him to death. Who do we go next? It's going to have to be my GOAT, isn't it? It's going to have to be my GOAT. It's going to be Riley McGree. I know he's current, and I know I'm not thinking back, but I just love this kid so much. He's just such a great human being. And obviously, I got to interview him and meet him as a person. And I mean, I'm probably being a bit biased there, but Riley McGree, I just think as a player in the past, maybe start of this year, end of last year as well, a lot of people were sort of off him, but I reckon he was just like, he's just gone up to another level. If you watch him, right, off the ball, his movement, his pace, his intelligence, it has just gone up to another level. And then again, I said I'm being a bit biased, but from the Socceroos camp, even though it's my Middlesbrough 11, he did very, very well for us in the World Cup as the Socceroos as well. And Riley, I love you. You're my GOAT. You'll always be my GOAT. So I got to say Riley McGree is going in there as well. All right, where do we go next? This is going to get tough. Where are we going to go next? I've only got one other striker to use here. We got Riley McGree, we got Stewie Downing, Tunkai Sun Lee, David Weeder, Mark Schwarzer. Another centre back. See, this is where it gets tough. I've got two. In my eyes, I've got Benny Gibson or Jonathan Woodgate. That's the two. Robert Huth as well, I think. Robert Huth, but I think he sort of went on to do bigger things at Leicester. But Robert Huth for me as well, I think was an amazing centre back that maybe we didn't have. But I've got to go local, and I think I'm going to go Benny Gibson. I loved Benny Gibson. He was our captain. He was the stalwart. And he was just an absolute legend. And obviously his connection to the club, his love for the club. When he was, down in sorts, he came back and trained with us. The other one was Jonathan Woodgate, and I do love Jonathan Woodgate. And they're on par, but I'm going to say Benny Gibson just because I love you, Benny. And even though you're playing at Norwich and stuff like that now, I think you're still Boro down and deep down, right? Deep down. We're going to say deep down. All right, let's go up to the striker here. And I think it's going to have to be my big Duke. It's Mark Viduka. It was like another Aussie that I just absolutely loved and adored. A striker at our club that just was an ultimate poacher, wasn't he? He was the bloke that was always there, would always perk up. Now, this was a tough one again. I think Yakubu could be in there. Hasselbank could be in there for me. We've had some decent strikers over the years. And obviously Chuba now as well. I think Chuba's, an absolute sensational star, but I'm going to go back the people that I loved. And again, it's just, it's that Aussie connection as well. So I'm going to have to say Mark Viduka with Tung Chai up front. That is just like the ultimate pairing for me. So we got Tung Chai Sun Lee, Mark Viduka, Stewie Downing, Riley McGree, David Weeder, Ben Gibson, and Mark Schwartz. So we've got a decent team. The left back and right back roles are going to be interesting because we've had hit and misses. But I reckon in the right back role, and this will be contentious. I want to see what you guys think because I've got a couple of names in here. Who I think might suit. But I think I'm going to go Luke Young. Do you guys remember Luke Young, the boy from Charlton that we signed? And he was just an absolute solid right back. He was probably the first best right back that I'd seen come through Boro, and he scored that absolute wonder goal. Maybe I can chop a clip right now of that Luke wonder goal that I just remember that just got me up at 3 a.m. probably waking up the neighbors. But I'm going to say Luke Young because of the excitement machine that he was from right back. Now, I think back to the Premier League, you got Barahan, where he's not making the cut. Right now, Tommy Smith, who else am I thinking? Jick Steele as well back in there. I think we've had some issues in the right back area. I think as in terms of people just obviously holding down that spot for so long. But I'm gonna say Lukey Young. All right, on to the midfield again. Let's get into the midfield, and I think I'm gonna have to say the man, the only guy. Is it Mendieta? It's like that Mendieta. There it is. Don't mind my spelling. I'm pretty sure that's how it's spelled. Mendieta was an absolute superstar when I used to tune into the Boro back in the day. He was just a world above. He was so silky on the ball. His movement was amazing. He was just another breed. And just seeing the level of that type of player in a Boro shirt was just incredible for me. And obviously his history and, everything he'd done in previously was just... and again, it was one of those ones that just spoke so highly of the club, always spoke so positively of the club. His love for the club was just so good and just so immense that it was just something that I just always used to love and watch. All right, I've got a pretty solid left back choice. I think we're gonna go left back, and then we'll finish off with the midfield. This has been so tough. I haven't got all the. I'd love to name more. I maybe should have gotten a bench as well, but I think the next player I'm gonna announce is probably a solid choice, right? A very solid, commendable. Left back that we had in my era as well, and his name is Frank Kudru. It's Frank Kudru. I had to copy and paste that because I didn't want to butcher his name. But it is Frank. Is it Frank with a C? I think it is. I think it's still Frank normally. But it's I had to Google his name up here. So I think was just one of those goats that was just always commendable. He was so exciting down that left wing in the left back role. He had that fierce tenacity in him, that little bit of like an anger sort of drive as well. And I used to love watching Frank go down the left back role. So Frank gets my left back role. All right, into the last role here in the midfield of the ultimate favorite Middlesbrough FC. For me, it's a very, very tough. I could have gone Ugo. I could have gone. I could have gone so many players in the midfield here that were just absolutely sensational players for me. Even Barry Robson and stuff like that. I mean, I'm thinking of players that just changed my, absolute life in here. I know even like Faris Haroun and stuff like this, just like players that people don't even remember. But I think I'm going to have to give it to my boy Georgie. Georgie was again, another captain, another stalwart in that midfield. Ugo was very, very close, and I would probably put George and Ugo up top there in the two people that I would, if I had to put name to. But George gets it from my captain. Again, another person wears hard on his sleeve and just an ultimate team player. And I think that's the sort of the sort of theme of this team is all these players here were just team players, and they always left it out, all of it out on the pitch. And they always gave their all for the club and for the badge, and that's all I could have asked for from any player that steps into the Riverside and wears that that mighty Middlesbrough crest. And I loved each and every one of these players so very, very much. And watching them at 3 a.m., 4 a.m., whatever it may have been, was just the most exciting moments. And I have a lot of memories and a lot of my childhood memories connected to some of these players and their moments. So it's pretty special. That's my favorite of Middlesbrough 11. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And yeah, it was it was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be, that's for sure. Well, there you have it, Boro fans. There is my favorite Middlesbrough 11 from my era, from about 2000s onwards. It was very tough. It was actually a lot harder than I thought it was going to be, and the spelling as well was some of these names. There was a lot of players I left out in that team that I think could have been, obviously slotted in quite nicely. And it was very hard to sort of go back and sort of, get all those names collected together. And I think I put together a pretty good list. Again, the theme of that was the heart on the sleeve mentality. That's always been my sort of thing. If you went onto that pitch, you put on that club crest, that jersey, that kit as we should be calling it, and left it all out there, then that's all I could have ever asked for someone in the Middlesbrough colours, because we love, we bleed, we absolutely scream for this club day in, day out. And these players come and go. As much as we love them, football is a transfer market. You know what I mean? These players come in and they go, but we're still here day in, day out, loving this club and loving, what we've got put in front of us. And when these players were here, I think that they were pretty, they were pretty special and pretty unique for a Middlesbrough town. I love you guys. Thank you so much for all the love, support. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe, guys. And again, please tell me your favorite players or your favorite Middlesbrough 11. I'd love to hear from you. Players I probably forgot. Tell me why I'm wrong, because I know people are going to be like, you put him in. But again, it's just my favorite, the people that I can think of. And I absolutely love this team. And there's way too many more players that I've probably left out. Catch me on Twitch 6 nights a week. I'm going to be live right now after this upload. So come over, can have a chat. You can let me know live what you think. And as always, stay safe in this crazy world of ours. I love you. There's nothing I can do about it. Up the Boro till the day we die. Okay? Woo!